how you doing? David Taub here. Hope all is well, and I hope your guitar journeys are going famously. And today, I have some tips for you on purchasing an acoustic guitar. In fact, we're going to go over 5 of what I think are 5 of the most important things to consider when purchasing an acoustic guitar. There are just so many options out there. It's quite overwhelming, and so many different manufacturers and so many different features, so many different models and lines, and where do you start? How do you choose? Oh, and hey, and if you get a chance, please subscribe to our channel here. You know, that really helps us out. It really helps us to keep bringing the content, right? So maybe subscribe, put a comment below, maybe click the thumbs up, the like button if you like the video, and those things really help us to keep bringing the content. So for my 5 biggest tips, and they're not necessarily in order, I'm just going to give you the 5. They're all probably equally important. And the first thing is budget, of course, right? You want to funnel your choices down because there's so many by budget. Obviously, if you have a $500 budget, you don't want to be playing $1,500 acoustic guitars, right? So first, come up with a realistic number that you can afford, and then you're going to target models within that budget. Another tip would be the size and the shape of the guitar. This is critical because it's very important with an acoustic guitar how it fits in your hands, how it feels against your body, how you can get your arm over it. And there are so many times, I'll tell you, when I have private lessons with students and they bring in the wrong size guitar that they're just fighting because the guitar is too big. Especially women with dreadnought guitars, because dreadnought guitars have a very wide waist and you got to get your arm over it. And for a lot of women, it's tough and it puts them in an awkward position and they struggle with that. And probably guys do too, depending on obviously your size. But the big thing is getting the right size and shape guitar. I mean, there's all kinds of different sizes, and you want to try as many as you can. The biggest thing is you want to play as many acoustic guitars as you get your hands on. Play as many as you can to find out what feels best in your hands, what sounds best to your ears, and what feels best against your body. And if you're just starting out and you really can't play that much, bring somebody with you who knows something about playing guitars, different guitars, who's knowledgeable. I've done that many times for my students. I've gone to guitar stores with them and I've sat them down. I say, okay, play this. How does this feel? Play this one. Try this. Try that. Or let me try this. How do you like the sound of this one? So important to play as many as you can get your hands on, and it's so important to get the right sized instrument. They make smaller guitars, Polar size guitars. If you have, if you're very petite, or maybe if you have a very young child at home who wants to start playing, they make kid-size acoustics, right? And that's so important to get the right-sized instrument. You don't want to be fighting it because guitar is hard enough to learn on its own. You don't want to have to fight your instrument. And hey, and if you're already playing guitar, or maybe if you're just starting out, I got some great free videos I could share with you. I'll put the links in the description box below, but let's say you're having trouble with your bar chords and you just can't seem to get your bar chords down and you're having trouble open the bar chords. I have a great lesson that can really help you with that, where I have tips on bar chords and how to change from bar chords to open chords and really get your playing to the next level. Click on that link below and you'll get that for free. And my full color new ebook, which is awesome, has chord charts, diagrams. It's awesome. The third thing that you want to look at when you're considering purchasing an acoustic guitar is the woods, and if it's solid or laminate and whatnot, and what wood it's made of, because they all sound different. And this is important, and is also going to direct you by budget too, because some of the higher priced woods, the more rare woods, obviously the more expensive guitars. I would suggest, if you are just starting out or looking for your first acoustic guitar, definitely get one with a solid top as opposed to a laminate top. That makes a huge difference because a lot of the sound comes from the top of the guitar vibrating, right, and banging around in the body, so to speak, and coming out the sound hole. But the solid top instruments sound, in my opinion, much better than the laminate tops, and they're making really good solid top guitars now at the entry level. You're probably gonna have to spend $300 is usually right around there, $250, and check out some of the solid tops. Fender makes a decent one, Yamaha, Seagull, just about all manufacturers make a entry-level solid top acoustic. If you can afford solid back and sides, certainly go for it, but then that's going to really bump the price up. Solid woods, better sounding, in my opinion, than laminates. You want to get the guitar that sounds best to your ears. They're all cut from different pieces of the tree. like I said, they're in different sizes and shapes, and they're all going to have a different tone to them. So you want to look at the woods and the construction, and you want to look at, by playing so many, find out the sound that you like, right? For instance, this guitar is a Taylor GS5. This is a big guitar. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'4", 4.5", right? So I like a bigger guitar. Has a very big body, and it just fits me really well. The other thing about this guitar that's a little different, it has a cedar top. You might have noticed it's a little bit darker than most acoustics have a spruce top. I like cedar personally because it's a little softer hardwood, so it sounds to my ears a little warmer. Okay, and I like that warmth with an acoustic guitar, but that's just me. The thing about the spruce tops is being a harder wood is that they project a little bit better. So I don't get the projection from this as opposed to a spruce. I'm not saying one's better than the other. It's just different. So the material, this has tropical American mahogany, solid back and sides. I like that. And I like the way it sounds. And I played a lot of different guitars until I was like, wow, this one to me, and this is a Taylor. And I like the Taylors. To me, they sound a little bit brighter in general than like the Martins, which I like too. But the Martins, I think, in my ears, for a lot of the line, when I compare, are a little darker sounding. And again, not better, not worse, just different. And you'll find that certain guitars have a certain, or certain manufacturers have a certain, there's a certain something to their sound, to their tone, but they're all different and they're all great. It's just a matter of what you like the best, and you find that out by playing as many as you can get your hands on. The craftsmanship, the quality. Remember, with acoustic guitars, you can't buy them on the cheap, like really super cheap, because remember, with stringed instruments, there's a tremendous amount of tension on the neck of these guitars. You've got 6 strings pulling hard, so the neck is constantly wanting to do this, to flex and to bend, and you have a truss rod running through the neck of the guitar, the metal rod, to kind of hold it in place, but that neck is constantly wanting to do this. So it puts a lot of pressure on the joints, right? And the cheaper guitars also puts a lot of pressure on the bridge on acoustic guitars. So, on the cheaper models where they're not maybe made as well, or they're not maybe using as good woods, tendencies to crack, to bow, not to stay in tune. That's very, very important. You want to get a guitar that's going to stay in tune. That is so awful to have a guitar that just will not stay in tune. That's a big pet peeve of mine, right? But I have to say that the craftsmanship over the last 5 years has really gone up in the lower line of acoustic guitars. They're getting better and better all the time because the competition is so fierce, right? And people demand more. The playability is another huge thing. So many times when I grab a student's guitar and it's like, geez, it's just set up awful, or the strings are so high off the fretboard you could drive a truck underneath it, and the student is fighting it and fighting to fret chords, and that's a situation that you do not want to be in, because then it's going to make playing the guitar more of a chore. It's going to make it harder, and you're going to put the guitar down because it's just going to be too much of a fight. There's a lot of attrition in musical instruments, and I think part of that is because students have the wrong instrument, or the wrong size for them, or it's not set up right. You want to make it as easy as possible, because just learning is going to be enough work. Getting your fingers to bend in those chords, being able to strum and change chords, it's tough. Guitar is a tough instrument, right? So you want to make it as easy as possible. So you want to get a guitar that plays really, really well. So the big 5 things, again: budget, funnel your choices down, the shape and the size, the woods and solid woods and what woods it's made out of, the tone, how does it sound, and playability and feel. How does the guitar feel? How does it feel against your body? How does it feel underneath your fingers, right? And if you don't have enough experience, or maybe you're a little shy playing in the store, bring somebody with you. Don't necessarily count on the salespeople. And I'm not saying there's not knowledgeable salespeople in a lot of guitar stores, because there are, but you never know. It's a crapshoot, right? So bring somebody with you and go check out a lot. Play as many as you can get your hands on, and if you can go to a mom and pop store, even better, right? Because we want to support our mom and pop music stores, and we want to support our local communities too, to spend money in the community as opposed to online. If you can, it's always nice to spread it around in the communities that we live in, right? And do your homework too. Know what you want. And with acoustic guitars, there's a lot of different features you can get, and there's no sense paying for something if you're not going to use it. For instance, if you're only just going to be strumming on your porch, maybe playing with friends, and you're never going to plug it in, then you probably don't want to buy an instrument like with a built-in preamp and a pickup that you can plug in, like this guitar. I play this live a lot and I'll be plugging it in. So I kind of need this preamp here and I need it to have a pickup. And this is an expensive system. This is like a $400 add-on, right, to this particular Taylor. It's a great system. I love this. I think it's the Expression system from Taylor. It's so clean and clear. No distortion. It's awesome. But if you're not going to use it, if you're never going to plug the guitar in, then why buy one that has that in it? It's just going to cost you more money. On the flip side, if you think you are going to need that option, get it when you originally buy the guitar. Because if you go back and try to add it on later and put it in, they just never seem to sound as good. So you want to know what you want. If you think you're going to be playing a lot higher up on the neck, get an acoustic with a cutout so you could reach those higher frets. Have fun and enjoy the journey, right? That's the big thing. Enjoy the journey. There's so many great choices out there and so much great stuff. So don't forget to please subscribe to the channel. Maybe hit the like button if you like this video. Share it with your friends. If you want a free video lesson, an ebook, full color, which is awesome, I'll put those links down. Check them out. Thanks so much for watching. So appreciate your support. Remember, have fun with your guitars. Enjoy this beautiful, magical instrument and keep on rocking. We'll see you in the next one.